We're good now. Greeting friends and fellow aliens, and thank you for watching this video. We already started out kind of laughing on this whole thing. I appreciate you being here. My name is David. This is Jacqueline.
Hi.
And
I'm allowed to wave now.
You're allowed to wave now. We had a couple of false starts when we started this video, but we're totally good now. And we're here to talk about
I'm not crying. You're crying.
INFJs and friendships. So being a friend, being an INFJ friend to others, and being somebody that is friends with an INFJ and probably supremely irritated at some of their behaviors. So we just want to talk a little bit about some of those things and see. Do you have tips? Do you find it as an INFJ difficult to befriend people, to be friends with people? Do you find a lot of common misunderstandings? If those things are on your mind while you're watching, please comment below. Also, in the description, you'll find a link to Jacqueline's channel.
Oh, that's me.
Please subscribe. We hang out on there all the time with some vlogs, and we do plant stuff, and we go shopping and do
weird stuff.
More plant stuff.
Yeah, we're weird.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about basically just that, just friendships and INFJs. Now look, every time I talk about it, something related to something as an INFJ or being an INFJ in a certain situation is very important. I'm going to make very clear to you that you are not defined by your type. You are an individual first. And yes, you may think a certain way. Your little cognitive gears are spinning a certain way. I don't know why.
They're crazy.
I don't know why I was making the crazy symbol. That's not what I was getting at.
We're not crazy.
But you have certain cognitive functions in common with other INFJs. But we are all individuals. We are all on a scale. So INFJs are not all identical. There are vast differences in how we are, how we react to things because of our life experiences. And it's very, very important to keep that in mind. Do not let people put you in a box. This video is sponsored by my book, The Caretaker. This one is my personal copy, so it's got some little tabs and things in it. 350 pages. This is a supernatural story. I wrote a lot of the characters with MBTI in mind. The main character has all those INFJ tendencies. Another side character, very INTJ. There's extroverts in there, which is what makes this a horrifying thing. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I love my extroverts. But please check out. Link is in the description. Autographed copies are available and the whole thing. So I would greatly appreciate it. It's got great reviews. It's up on Amazon. It's been there. And we have a lot of fun with it. And I'm self-published. So by purchasing the book and reading it, you are supporting a small-time creator. And I appreciate you. Onward to friendships. So the first thing in terms of INFJs and friendships is, I thought, like, what do you look for, right? In like, just in general, because this isn't necessarily an INFJ thing.
Right.
But you personally, what do you look for in when you're making friends with somebody, you're an acquaintance, and you're like, I could probably hang out with this person. What qualities do you prefer that they have?
I like really chill people.
Chill people.
Yeah, I like really chill, laid-back people who just keep it real. They're honest about who they know who they are. You know what I mean? People like me. Am I allowed to say that? Because I think I'm pretty chill.
Allowed to say anything. Yeah,
and laid back, and I'm secure with like who I am.
Right.
So I feel like when I come across other people like that, those are the kind of people that I tend to be drawn to because they're just chill. I don't know. People who don't know what they want and don't know who they are cause drama.
Yeah, I definitely try to avoid people that where I feel like there's a lot of drama going on.
Yeah, no, I can't handle that.
Right.
And then obviously you want somebody who's honest and loyal and kind and understanding.
Right. That's not to say, like, if you have a friend that is going through a dramatic moment or something, then you're just there as a friend. But there are some people that are like little drama cyclones.
They like drama.
Right. Yeah.
It's like the new every day is a different big dramatic thing that happened, you know, and it's just like there's only so much I can handle.
That can be exhausting. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like laid back people for that reason. And people who don't require constant communication.
That's very important. Because I'm not going to text back right away.
Yeah, I need people who are going to understand, even if they're not introverted themselves, at least be understanding of that about me.
Right.
That it's not a personal thing, that I don't want to come to your house every night for dinner. I just want to stay in bed by myself and watch Netflix. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think for me it's probably very similar. I tend to gravitate towards people that do not have a ton of drama going on.
Yeah.
At least not outwardly. I mean, if, like I said, if they're going through some kind of personal circumstance and I can be there for them, then that's great.
Yeah.
But
I enjoy doing that.
But I do try and get that read on people beforehand to just kind of see. And I think one of the things for me is I like somebody that can be very engaging in terms of a wide range of topics.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right?
You want to be able to have conversations. I think all INFJs crave that, like, deeper connection with somebody. Right. We don't like surface level conversations and
I never really had like a friend that was just like this is my sports friend where like I could talk football with them, like, or anything like I never really had that kind of. I never, honestly, like that, never did anything for, I never really wanted that.
No.
So like weird stuff. I like being able to be weird with somebody.
Yeah, I like people who want to talk about the universe and like physics and you don't mind when I go on rambles about biochemistry that you don't understand.
No, it's fun. She explained erythritol this morning. It was really good. Did I say that right?
Erythritol? Yeah, doesn't matter.
Erythritol? Xylitol?
Potato.
Xylophones? Xylophone-tol?
Hopefully those aren't in your food.
Potato-tol? Potato-tol will be alcohol potato. That's just vodka.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we know what we kind of look for in friendships and stuff like that, in like closer relationships or to develop those.
Yeah.
So how do you overcome some of that introversion to get to know somebody on that level? Like, so what, like, is there a point where you're like, all right, this person's like asking to hang out too much, or is it just like, do you hang out within groups of people to get to know people that way? Are you all right with one-on-ones? Is it usually just DMs on Instagram and stuff like that?
Honestly, when I'm in a large group, I feel like I'm really quiet. Mm-hmm. I was hanging out with a friend of mine and all of her girlfriends, and they're all really nice people. I just get overwhelmed with the amount of like females in one room being loud and all talking at the same time, so I'm quiet.
Right.
But then I was able to hang out with a few of them. It was just like 3 or 4 of us, and one of the girls said to me, she was like, I didn't know you were this much fun. She's like, you never talk. And I'm like, because I'm always so overwhelmed by all the people that I'm just like absorbing everything, and I'm quiet and I don't know like what to say. Like I can't keep up with all. I just start to tune it out eventually.
I will do that in groups. I tend to absorb a lot of information in groups. Like,
but in smaller gatherings, that's when my personality can like really come out, when I feel comfortable in like a smaller group of people. Right. For sure.
When you hang out with when you're hanging out with a group, for instance, and it's like your first time hanging out with somebody who's like perhaps new or whatever else, do you find that you initiate conversation, or do you allow the conversation to just initiate, or do you just kind of interject like as you interject? Like how would you get to know somebody new?
It depends. I think that I go off of like vibes a lot. I don't know what else to call it. I know we don't have like INFJ superpowers or whatever, but we're really good at picking up on other people's energy. Right. So like if I'm getting a chill vibe from somebody, or if I'm noticing that we have something in common that I can start a conversation, or if I have a question that naturally pops up, I'll ask it. But I'm not going to sit there and like rack my brain trying to like figure out some sort of icebreaker or conversation starter. Like I don't.
So what are your goals 5 years from now?
Yeah, like no, I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. But if they ask me questions, like, yeah, I'll be more than happy to engage in a conversation. Right. They're just usually the same old boring questions. Like, what do you go to school for? Where do you work? Do you have a boyfriend?
It's usually that whole, it's like, right. What do you do for a living? Like, okay. Like, I don't want to explain it anymore. Or they just start talking about politics. Yeah, no, let's not go there. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. That's not a great way to break ice. For this particular INFJ, that's a great way for me to just...
It's a good way for me to make up a reason why I have to get up and go do something else.
Like, my aardvark needs to be fed. I got the aardvark alarm, and I need to go home to feed.
Yeah, I think I left a candle on.
So another one that I'm curious about is common misunderstandings. And I want to go, like, in both directions with this, right? So... common things that people misunderstand about you, and then ways that you can, I guess, talk to somebody or develop a friendship with somebody so you're not misunderstanding, like the misunderstandings are lessened, right? Because for me, like one of the things that I'm usually pretty open about right up front when I'm hanging out with somebody, and like, you know, and they're an acquaintance, they're like kind of on that bridge of like, yeah, you could kind of call them a friend, but like, you know,
Right.
stuff like that. Is like, listen, I'm very open about the fact that I like alone time. I like to recharge alone. I'm not great about getting back. Like, please don't call me. Just, you can texting anytime. Texting is always good. I might not respond right away. Like, these are some of the things
Texting
that
is good.
I'll say, and I'll tell people, like, you know, just like, if I don't respond right away, just like, please understand I'm not ignoring you. I just like, I got my stuff that I gotta get through.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that. So what about you? Like, to try and help people understand that you're not just like a flake or whatever else.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the most common problem I have with extroverts.
Right. Well, like, why don't you want to go hang out every night?
Yeah.
Right. Well, because I
Yeah.
don't want to go hang out every night.
Because I
That's
don't,
really
I
easy.
just don't want to.
There
But
is an
I
easy
always thought
answer.
there was something wrong with me when I was younger, because most of my friends, most people, are extroverts.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I was always made to feel guilty about it. And I'm like, well, what the hell's wrong with me that I don't want to go and socialize the way that everybody else wants to? It's not like I don't enjoy it. It's not like I don't get a thrill out of socializing and meeting new people. I'm a people person. I talk a lot, in case you didn't notice. I like to talk, you know? And I'm more than happy to meet new people and have great conversations. It's just that, like, they
Right.
have to happen naturally.
Right. Yeah. It
You
can't
know
be
what I
forced.
mean?
Right.
So, I don't know. I have a hard time just doing that exactly, explaining to people that it's not them. Like, I need friends that aren't going to take it personal
Right.
if I don't call you
Right.
or if I don't talk to you for like a period of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was talking to my cousin and she's like, hey, you alive? Haha, you know? Like, yes, you know I'm alive. You see me posting on Instagram, okay?
Right.
I'm alive.
I'm just not around. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's got nothing to do with you. I called her a pain in the butt.
Right.
I said, just stop being so extroverted all the time.
Right. And I mean, I've told my extrovert friends, I've told them straight, like, it's okay for you to bother me. Like, if you're wondering if I'm alive, like, go ahead and send the messages, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll be like, yeah, like, I appreciate the check-ins. It's something that I've explained to, like, quite a few friends that I've had. Is like, it makes me feel good. Like, please invite me to your family barbecue.
Yeah.
Please invite me to the things and stuff like that. Like,
I might say yes.
It's nice. I will, on occasion, I will say yes to these things.
Yeah.
The likely answer is probably going to be no, but that's not like,
Still, like,
it could be any kind of a
included.
life thing that's going on or anything else. So, like, there's those concerns, and sometimes I'm just not in the headspace for it. But, like, you know, it's not like I don't want to be, you know, I will make my appearances and I will invite you over to hang out and things like that. Like, those things will happen. I just do it all very slowly and it's sporadically, I guess is the word. Like, I'm not the type to just hang out every day. I need more of my quiet time. Now, in high school, people didn't understand that. My buddies were just like, why not hang out Friday night, Saturday night, and all day Sunday? And I'm like, I can't do that. I would rather be playing a video game and just in that
I was okay
world.
with that when I was younger. I think
Yeah, I
I
couldn't.
had the energy for it more then, and now as I get older, I'm like, ugh, this is just so draining.
Right.
It's so draining.
See, that's the thing. Like, I felt drained from it, but I didn't really understand what was happening at that
Yeah.
time. I was too young to understand what was really going on and
I
what
was
my
just busy making memories.
it was like what my needs were. My needs were
Yeah.
not to be hanging out 3 days in a row. My needs were like I needed some quiet time and alone time.
Should I
But
explain that to my cousin.
without realizing that, though, you tend to feel a little bit guilty for
Yeah.
like not doing the
100%.
things, and so then that causes other issues, you know, with all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
but you know what I tend to do is I'll tend to find like that one person that I click with, and then I will spend all my time with that one person. So it's
Okay,
like
yeah.
I can't have too much of that person. Like, I'll hang out with the same person every day because it doesn't feel draining.
Right. I see
Like-
what you mean.
You, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, but I've said it so
Right.
many times. I mean, we've known each other for almost 2 years now, and we talk every day.
Right.
Like, all day. Even when we're not physically together, we're like on video chat.
Yeah, just
Like,
hanging out, doing our thing.
most of the day.
Right.
And I'm like, how have I not irritated the crap out of you already? And how am I not tired of talking to you?
If she keeps talking, I just hit mute. It's fine. I'm like, yep. Every couple minutes.
Messed up.
So what about this? What about overcoming? Okay, so there's this like societal expectation that you hang out. We live in an extroverted society,
right?
So how do you
People
overcome
want
some
you
of
to
that?
be jolly all
Even
the
when
time.
you're like I'm not really feeling it, but like they've asked me a few times to hang out. How do you overcome that one last time to be like, all right, I'm gonna go hang out with them? Like, so is there a particular boundary you set? We talked about this before. It's like making sure you drive your own car somewhere.
Yes.
That's
Make
like a big
sure
one.
that you drive yourself there. Make sure that they know that you're only spending like X amount of time
Right.
there. Be like, okay, well, I'll stop by for like an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then if I get there and I'm having a good time, maybe I'll stay longer. But
Right,
like,
for sure.
sometimes I get someplace and I'm just like overwhelmed by I never know. I think that's the part of the anxiety. I mentioned this in the car the other day we were driving. The part of the anxiety is not necessarily knowing what you're getting yourself into. So you don't
Right.
know how you're going to feel in that environment when you get there. So in your head, you're going through all of these scenarios of all of these different conversations and all of these things and all of these people, and you start to stress yourself out about it before you
Right.
even go. So then
Right.
why the hell would you want to go, right? You get to the point where you're like, I'm just going to stay home.
Have you been in a situation where you've wanted to go out and hang out, you're totally good with it, and then you get to a specific place and that environment is like you can't handle the environment, either because of noise or other things?
I'm really sensitive to loud spaces.
And your friends, like the people that you hang out with, know you well enough.
Yes,
That if
by
you're just
now,
like,
they've
if you're
given
like,
me
I
enough crap. Yeah.
gotta spend some time in the parking lot and not inside of this place.
Oh yeah, no, my family for sure, especially because we'll be at like events because both my brothers are firefighters and they're often at like these big town events that I have to go to, ceremonies and things, stuff like that, and there's just a lot of people in a really small space. I mean, obviously we don't do that anymore.
Right.
But I'll just leave. Like, I'll go outside and just sit outside. And
Right.
people will be like, where'd Jackie go? And my parents are always just like, it's fine. She just, yeah, like,
doing her
they
own-
know. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, they don't worry. They'll come and check on me
Right.
obsessively.
Of course.
So I'm really not getting any alone time.
You don't have the escape that you thought you had.
But there's at least one family member continuously checking on me every 10 minutes just to make sure I'm okay. But that's mostly because of like health concerns too. So they want
Right.
to make sure that like I'm feeling okay and that
Right.
it's not
physically all right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So they're pretty understanding though when it comes to that.
Right.
Me
I like
just
to
needing to have an escape.
I like to know if somebody invites me out or something like that, like, okay, it's important for me to know just where are we going? What's the expectation there? What's it like there?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things help to disarm me enough that I'm not feeling like anxious about going to a particular place.
Right.
I'm not feeling worried
Less to
about
overthink.
what's there. Way less to
Yeah.
overthink, for sure.
Less of those scenarios that you have to go through in your head that are going to make you not want to go.
Right, and all those things help. That helps me feel relaxed and stuff like that. I mean, also like temperature. Like if it's hot in a place, like
Oh,
I
no,
already
no.
don't want to be there. So
You
like
hate that.
I get so uncomfortable.
Meanwhile, I drag you to the greenhouse and make you stay there for like 45 minutes.
I'm so much happier.
I look over and you're like drenched in
that
sweat.
is a drag, but it's not like it would be different if it was full of people. Then I'd be like, no, I'm running away.
Yeah,
But
just
like
full of plants.
environment and comfort is very important for me. Like I have to, if I have like a flannel and I got my comfy
You
jeans,
need, like the number of
and
people
I've got
to
a
be
nice
low.
corner. It's being able to see like if it's a place like a restaurant or a bar or whatever else,
See the entrance.
sitting in a place where I can see entrances, where I have my comfy I need my nook.
Yeah.
As long as I have a nook, like I'm
We're
good.
creatures of habit.
Because it
in
feels
that
like
way.
that's like my little bubble of territory.
That's why new spaces and going to new places stresses us out.
Right.
Because you don't know.
Because it's the unknown.
You don't know what to expect when you
Right.
get there.
Yeah, and having friends that understand that, they get it. I've had friends before that have been like, "Hey, we're doing a thing. It's here. Don't worry. There's a place for you to go hide if you need to."
Yeah,
And I'm like, "This
that's
is like
all
you're
I
the
need to
best."
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's cool. Now on the flip side, you have to make sure that you're open enough and willing enough to reciprocate in that way. right? Your friend it's a meaningful thing that they're asking you to. Even if I got my own hang-ups and my own crap to get through, I'm gonna go. Like, I'm there for you. Like, this is not just a one-way thing.
They appreciate it more if they're a good friend, because they know that it's hard for you.
Right.
So the fact that you show up for them is even more meaningful.
Right. And I'm not sitting here trying to like be like, well, this is how I am and everybody has to bend to my will. That's not the point. That's the opposite of what you want.
Expect it. It has to be an even give and take.
Right.
Like, you can't expect me to want to hang out with you every day.
Right.
But you can expect me to want to hang out with you at least like every other week. And then, you know what I mean?
Right. You both have to give some ground.
Yeah.
I think is the main thing.
Yeah.
So
sometimes we will hang out every day. I don't know. It depends.
So give me like a maybe a quick story or something like that of two different kinds of friendships. A friendship that you've had that has felt complicated and a friendship you've had that has felt really easy.
You want me to start with complicated?
Start with whichever one you want.
Well, I had this friend for a long time. She was my best friend. We were really close. We spent too much time together.
Right.
People called her my tumor because she was just attached to me all the time, which is messed up, I know. But
it's fine.
But it was like almost like a leech, though. Like, she would suck the life out of me. And that's what made it so toxic. Because she was just so needy, and here I was, like, late teens, early 20s, like, I didn't know anything about myself in the sense of all of these things that we're talking about here and the stuff that I understand now.
Right.
So I just wanted to be there. I saw this person who needed a friend, and I wanted to be that friend. You know what I mean? I've always had that desire to, like, be that friend to somebody who needed one.
Sure.
You know? Drawn to, like, the troubled people, essentially.
Right.
But homegirl was a little too troubled for me, and after a few years, I just had to
cut it.
Yeah, and I'm sure for her it felt like a door slam, but for me it was a long time coming. I mean, we had just gotten into so many arguments that I couldn't do it anymore.
Did you feel like she was kind of like just like an emotional vampire?
Yes,
almost, just like
100%.
Right.
But then whatever was going on in her personal life, she almost like knew that she could take it out on me. So like if she was angry about something or upset about something that somebody else said or somebody else did to her, she would turn around and like take that frustration out on me, because she knew that like I was always going to be the person that was going to be kind to her and try to help her.
Yeah.
And then when I stopped doing that, I was the monster. I was the bad person. She would go around town telling everybody I was such a terrible friend. You know what I mean? And still to this day, I'm pretty sure she hates me.
Right.
Because she thinks that I just, like, abandoned her and walked up.
Right.
Yeah, when realistically, like, I was just trying to do what was right for me.
Right,
and that's a hard thing. That was a hard thing for me to do. I always joke around and say that was the only time I've ever had to break up with somebody.
It was a friend.
It was, like, drawn out and emotional. Like, she was crying. She went through all of the emotions, anger, crying.
All the stages of grief.
For days.
Oh, wow.
For days.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's trouble, man.
Yeah.
That's like, but you knew that was not a good dynamic for you.
It took me a while, because I think we were young, and for a while we were just having fun. We would go out, we would party.
Yeah, you don't really
Everything
realize
was
it.
fine.
Right.
And then, you know, I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, anyone that I had,
Not like I don't care about her. I wish her nothing but good things, and I hope that she's found some sort of improvement over time.
Right.
I just couldn't be the person to try and help her achieve that anymore.
Any situation that I had that it was similar to that, where it felt like a complicated friendship, it was always related to some form of drama that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was always some element of
Always.
some element of like either that person is unhealthy in the way they're reacting to things, and then would snap, take it out on you or whatever else, or just be that very inconsistent person where sometimes it's like you're the best friend, and then other times like you can't even get a word out of them. That kind of inconsistency, it's like, look, I want to know, you know, and somebody who's an overthinker, when I'm dealing with somebody that, you know, they're they're all over the map in terms of their emotions and how they express them,
Yeah.
that can get really difficult.
It's exhausting.
Right. It's the
That's
ambiguity
why I say
thing,
I want
right?
a
Like,
friend who is confident in who they are. They're chill. They're laid back, because like I just don't have the energy for somebody
Right.
who's confused about who they are and what they want, and like doesn't know how to deal with their trauma.
Consistently,
Like, girl, we
right.
all have trauma. We
Right.
all have baggage. Like, you need to figure out the steps to take to heal.
yeah. And it's okay to like, if somebody, again, like if somebody's going through a hard time, that's different.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I'm
you're
just
there
talking
for
about
that
like
hard time.
regular
But right, if they're all over the
trauma,
map every
you
day.
need to figure it out. I mean, you're getting into your 30s, like it's not cute anymore. Like, you need to figure it out.
Did you ever see that meme with the gopher, the dramatic gopher?
No.
Where so like this gopher like turns to the camera and it zooms in and you hear this song go dun dun dun, like it's this really dramatic. It's called the dramatic gopher, right?
Right, makes sense.
So I took that audio clip. There was a person that was a fellow martial artist that was a friend of mine, and every time we spoke, it was some other kind of really dramatic thing that he was going through. So I made that his ringtone. And so and he would call, and I'd hear my phone go dun dun dun. I'm like, here comes the drama.
Gosh.
Like what now? What is
I don't
it
even
now?
have I keep my phone on silent.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know if it's ringing, because I'm not
No,
going to answer
it
it
was
anyway.
just like-
unless
it
I'm
was-
waiting for a phone call.
Like I at least knew. It let me laugh about the drama that was happening on my
Should
phone.
put
at
that
any
for my
given
mom.
moment.
I need like a doorbell like that for when my mom wants to come in my room.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just like give me a warning.
Some kind of drama.
Yeah.
Drama alarm. What about an easy friendship for you? Like something where you like fast friends with somebody, and like what were the circumstances around that, or why did it work?
Because we're the same in the sense that we don't want high maintenance friends.
Right.
And we cannot talk for a month and nobody's mad at the other person about it. We
Right.
just end up talking for 2 hours instead of 20 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you met my best friend, Becca.
Right.
She's a perfect example of that friendship. That's why we've been friends forever.
Yeah.
Because we don't get mad at each other for not constantly communicating. We're both equally bad at it.
You know. Like,
Yeah.
you can call anytime. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how long it's been. Nobody's taking it personally.
Exactly.
You know, and I think those are really key things.
It's always the really extroverted people that yell at you and give you like that tough love of like, you know what I mean?
So
They give
trying
you
to
all
draw
the
you
crap.
out.
Like, I literally could read text messages from my phone that my cousin sent me yesterday,
was that
where it
kind
was
of-
like very passive aggressive. But I'm used to it, you know?
Right, right,
Because we're obviously very close friends, not just cousins.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
she's literally right down the street. So we'll both have a day where she's like, I'm bored. I'm not doing anything. What are you doing? I'm like, nothing. And she's like, come over and watch Netflix with me. I'm like, I'd rather watch Netflix in my bed. You stay in your bed over there. And we're like 4 minutes down the road. She gets so mad at me because I just...
You want to be there with your
wanna
cat.
be it depends, though. I go through like mood swings, and then other times I can't stand being by myself. So I just want at least one other person. Because you laugh at us all the time. We sit there and we don't even talk to each other anyway. We just both sit next to each
You're
other
just
on
hanging
our
out.
phones. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But like we're
So that's cool too. Like, I still consider that low maintenance. Even though she wants to spend more time with me, spending time with her doesn't require energy.
right. Right. I see what you mean. Yeah. It's not work to have a friend.
No, I don't
like
have
that.
to like pretend to listen and care about like a bunch of drama. Because there's some girls that literally just it's always
It's always
new
the drama.
and
Right.
it's always like friends of friends. I'll be like hanging out with a girlfriend, and then like another one of her girlfriends will come over, and I'm just like,
This again.
this chick is a piece of work.
All right. Well, so chime in. Like, what is it? What is it for you? What is it like? How do you make friends? Do
Navigate
you have friends?
friendships.
Do you have the long distance friends? How do you navigate it? What is important to you?
It's like internet friends are good.
Internet friends are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Except for
always somebody to talk to on
I really
Instagram.
don't like read receipts though.
What do you mean?
That makes me feel bad. When somebody sends me a message, like if I read it, they see that I read it, but like I can't respond right away. I'm like, oh, sorry.
I just won't open it yet if I don't plan on responding.
Yeah, there's that. But then I want to know what's in it.
Well, you can't know until you're ready to respond.
Yeah, but I don't want to respond. I just want to know. And this is why texts from people. I have an iPhone, and texts from people that have Android. It's great because they can't see that I read it. I know.
Yeah, well, and you
It
can't
works out
see
better.
you can't see mine either.
So it's all good.
So
All right. Well, thank you for watching this one, and hopefully some interesting information in here. And please, pretty please, let us know in the comments, what is it like as an INFJ, being friends with an INFJ,
yeah.
all those different things. Just what is a dynamic like for you, and what are some of the things that you do and expect from your friends, and what is some of the ground that you give to your friends, so they know that you're just not the shut-in that expects everybody to bend to all of your whims. Because that's not really healthy.
Don't be a shut-in
either.
all the time either.
You don't
go
need
out
to.
and experience the world.
Right.
You'll have more fun than you think.
Yeah, go for a walk, do something. I don't
it's
know,
good for
just
ya.
like hang out with a group of people that like all knit or whatever.
Maybe not.
Like my mom, she goes to these quilting retreats where she
That's
spends like
really cute.
4 days bunking in like a little dormitory with old
Really
ladies,
cute.
and they just all quilt all day.
Your mom's adorable.
So there's that. All right.
We've been talking for a while.
Anyway, thank you for watching this one, and we'll catch you on the next.